Hi, this is Fast Money. I'm talking about creating a business and a business plan because the scheme of starting a business plan comes from a request that a lot of you has made. I'm a professional business consultant, so I'm coaching youngsters along the way. And then a lot of the youngsters has been asking me this question on how to skip this trap of 4 to 8 working. And then all of them are saying that we have these ideas and then we want to follow up with these ideas and make them a very successful and smart business, but we can't do it because we do not have a professional business experience. They say, of course, that we are trying to get this experience and this knowledge from the AI generated platforms like ChatGPT, Gemini, but the problem with that is that we are getting too much information first, and in the second hand is that we do not know where to start and how to follow. So I am here to start with your business and then make it a success all the way to the top, because this is a very important time in the era that we're living. This is called the transition era, of course, in every millennia that people are living, the humans are living. In that millennia, there is a change. Like there in 1919 to 1930, there was a huge transformation from the generation. So this is the time in which we're living, this year of 2025, which is going to be 2026. So this is that breaking point from where we start to become a businessman. The youngsters are going to overtake the elderly, and the elderly are leaving their businesses, and those children of them that are following on the business steps, they cannot do the business that we are going to be doing, because we are building a business from the scratch and we know what does it take for a business to get it successful and get it to the top level. So bear with me these moments and let's go, because we are doing it for your own benefit. So the first step in business planning is having an idea. Maybe you're having an idea and then you had this thought when you were walking in the street, walking into a shopping mall, or sitting with yourself at home, just scrolling across the internet. So you had always this idea that I have this thought in my mind that I think that it could work. It could turn into a very successful business idea, and then that is exactly the point where you start, and that is, I would say, that is halfway work. So it means you are already 50% done, and then you have taken the very first steps. So if you are sure that your idea is working, so here's the way to turn this idea into the raw idea, I would say, the raw idea that you have on something that is going to work, into a very successful business startup. For a startup in a business, you have two ways to be generating your idea. The first thing is that you're going to make something new, something very completely new that is not out there. So you're innovating in this sense, and then you're trying to propose it to the society and to the people so it could solve a problem. Of course, this idea of you should bring a benefit, a profit to the people, because otherwise they're not going to buy it. So it should have a value, and then you could turn that value into money, and then you get that money that you're going to get. The second step is that you're going to provide something that is already out there in the market. But the way you could do it, the way you could provide those things that are already out there in the market, is that innovate it, bring changes to it, modernize it, make something new in it. So by that way, you are going to utilize the already existing customers that are there in the market. And then by utilizing those customers, you're going to pitch in your idea into the people. And then, of course, the people always this is one fact, that the people always like new things. And then they're liking modernized things. They like the same things that are coming with new ideas, with new changes, with new shapes, with new colors. So that is what you could utilize. So these two ways: first to innovate, to completely create something out of the scratch, and then to modernize the already existing products and services in the market. So when you're done with your idea, and then you know what you're going to do, and then the next step, you're going to create your mission statement. I would say it's a one sentence that you're going to write in the first page of your business plan. For a successful business to start, you need to write the stuff in. By writing the stuff down, it indicates that you're taking the very first steps. So here is the way how you could write your mission statement. So let's first know what is mission statement. Because it sounds too cliche when someone says that, okay, create your mission statement. because I'm sure that you've heard it from ChatGPT or Gemini or any management or financial books out there. But mission statement is basically, it's telling you and yourself and then your employees that are going to be working with you in your industry. Suppose, let's give it an example. You're working inside your factory, you're there, and then there are colleagues around you or your employees around you, and then what are you going to tell them? What is it that you're going to do, or what is it that you're doing? Looking around yourself, looking around at your industry, at your products, at your services. So that is your mission statement. That is what you're going to write it down. So I'm going to give a very good example here. The example of Elon Musk. You've heard him. He is saying that he used to sleep in the factory of SpaceX. So it tells us his mission statement. So this is his mission that he's doing. So he's showing his employees, his colleagues, that what he's doing, and he's showing basically himself. He's telling himself what is it that he is doing, and that becomes his mission. So that is the mission statement. Write it down. It should be one sentence, just clear and cut. Don't exaggerate it. Don't emotionalize it. Just the raw words, raw sentences to write down what exactly is that you're doing. So when you have written your mission statement, the next step is to be writing your vision statement. Vision is important. The vision statement is important because you'll be telling yourself, where do you want to be in 5 years? So this factory that you are, this work that you're doing, where is it in the future in 5 years? So that is what you're going to write down. When you're done with these two statements, the vision and mission, and then the next step is to go to an introductory part. Just write down under the name of introduction to the business idea, or you could write it down executive summary, or just the synopsis, or something that is clearly telling you what you're going to do. So when you write, for example, like introduction to the business idea or introduction to the business, under that, the first thing that comes to your mind is that in which industry are you going to be active? Let's say I'm going to give an example, technology or software development, and then you would tell yourself, how big is the industry? How much is the market value? So this is very important. This part of business idea introduction, because this defines the very working mechanism of your business. That is very important for you to be very clear with yourself. So when you write your industry, the value, the extent of the industry, how big is it, and then you write who are the players in the market, and then what are you going to be doing. So the business, the product or the service you're going to be producing, that is what you're going to be writing. About the product and the service, it's very important for you to write who your customers are, because it defines the very people that you're going to be providing for, and then about those people you're going to be writing about their income, their monthly income, about their ages, some statistics you can collect on that one, some information. So who are these people? What are their gender? The customers that you're going to be providing these services to? What are their age distribution? What are their income distribution? What are their knowledge distribution? So how good educated they are, in what class of society are they located? So these, when you have these statistics and information, and then you got to write down, the next step is that what business are you going to be doing? What is it that you're doing? Is it a product? Is it a service? If it is a product, what benefit does this product bring? So when you've written 3-4 benefits of this product, of course. So when you want to have a very successful business, it's very important that you're going to provide a value. So in the next episode of money, the workings of money, I'm going to discuss how the value is exchanged. So it is this exchange of value that brings a business to working. So it is not that it's not that the people are buying everything. The people are buying a lot of things, the things that are new, that are good, that are innovative, that solves their problems and brings a benefit to the people. Next, you're going to be writing goals and objectives. So first, take your mission statement and then drop it down, break it down into 3-4 goals, general goals. And then that is basically telling yourself, for example, suppose one day you forget everything about your business. Let's suppose that you're forgetting everything about your business, and then you come to your business plan, and then you remember, okay, my business is about that one, and then these are my objectives, and these are my goals, and this is my mission, this is my vision, this is my product, this is my industry that I'm going to be active in, these are my customers. To these customers, I'm providing the services, or I'm providing the products. So that's why it is very important to have 3-4 goals, general goals. Break down your mission statement into goals. When you have successfully written your goals, the next step for you to do is write objectives. So this is like a machine that I'm talking about. When you follow these steps one by one, it becomes sometimes in a moment that you'd be having this feeling in this moment that you're writing your objectives as, okay, this business looks legitimate. This looks like something that is working. So when you write your objectives, you take your goals and then you scatter every goal into some small steps, some small objectives. And there is something about objectives which is very important. When you write an objective, so it first should be time bound. You would say, for example, that one of your objective is having your logo or developing your website, and then you gotta tell yourself how long would it take for you to get the website. So that is very important. The objectives that you're going to have is to drop down, to scatter, to chop the goals into small steps, and then measure each step. So the first step on creating objectives is to have it time bound. The other thing is it has to be related to the business, crisp and crossed. That is very important for an objective to be crisp and crossed, because there is no emotional expression needed to be included in the business plan and while you're developing your business. When you've successfully written the time limit and the time bound of your objective, the next step for you is to write down how much resources does this objective require. And that is very important, to be very specific. Write it down realistically and then try to come up with ideas and alternatives, 1, 2, 3 alternatives that you're going to give to those resources that you're going to be needing, and try to find the cheapest resources possible, because it's very important at the business startup that you are minimizing your costs. When you've written the resources, then write down what are your strengths on that objectives and what are your weaknesses. This is very important for you. The strengths could be anything, could be your inner thoughts, your knowledge, your skills, the friends that you have, the connections that you have, or the relations that you have to banks or the business angels or the financial market, or the experience that you have. It is probably a business that you've been working for a long time in it, and then you have this sense and this thought and this idea that, okay, I can take on this business on myself. So it could be all of these are your strengths. And let's say the weaknesses. For example, one of your weaknesses that you don't know the financial workings of money. So it's very important to build up on those weaknesses, because as it is the strengths that are going to take your business to success, so are the weaknesses that are going to give you new opportunities, possibilities, and it's going to help your business to grow even further and stronger. So when you have written your objectives, it has to be like you took your mission statement and then you drop it down into 3-4 goals, and then you took the goals and you dropped down, you broke every goal to 3-4 objectives, and then the next step is to take your objectives and write a very small operational mechanism to your objectives. For example, you were saying develop website. So write it down how you're going to develop your website. What is needed for developing your website? What resources do you need for that? What people do you need for that? How much time does it gonna take? So write down on your own words how you're gonna do it. The steps you would say, okay, I'm gonna contact first this person. These are all your alternatives, because you gotta have a friend who is very good with business website development, or there are a lot of good ways. I've made a video on how to make a successful business website using WordPress. So follow my channel, and then I will show you how to make that successful business website of yours. When you've written these alternatives, and then there's also the possibility that there are companies that they provide all the services to you to make your website, to develop it, to initiate it and everything. But in this time that you are living, we have a lot of good possibilities, that a lot of good things have become easier. So it's a very critical time that we are living it with this AI and this technology and this lot of stuff. So you have this very possibility to start your own business and to be free from the strap of 8 to 4 working from the corporate stuff, and then be your own boss. At least this is the time with all the possibilities that are there. I'm going to give you the dots, and then you could connect it. I'm going to be there for you to connect all these dots. At the end, you would have a very successful business. For these objectives, it's very important for you to stay focused crisp and crust, and then limit it on time, and then write it down. How are you going to do? What are the steps that you're going to take? Because when you're writing the operational approach to your objectives, it is that time your business plan is going to talk to you and is going to tell you what do you need, what services do you need, what extra points can you collect. So it's very important to stay informed, collect statistics, information from everywhere, from here and there. That is going to help you very much on developing a very successful business plan. So these objectives that you're writing, this information, all of the information about it, try to be as precise as you can. It's you don't need to write a very long business plan, but at least it has to be 25 pages. So don't worry about 25 pages when I say it at first.